Okay, so this is my video, part 2 of how freedom doesn't really exist in America anymore. And I'm drinking an Old English and I'm in my own home, so get over your anxiety. But I was arrested in South Beach 4 times. And I didn't break any laws. All 4 times. No, I didn't break any laws. I know my constitutional rights. I know them. I pay attention. Anywho, so I'm gonna tell all 4 stories here of how I got arrested, and all 4 of them bullshit. Story number 1 is I just broke up with this Polish princess. So she was a Polish girl, and I met her on some Bumble maybe or something, and then we had like a 1-week love affair fuck fest. Okay, so she lived in a hostel, so there's like, that means there's like 40 different people living there. It's like a dorm room, so there's no banging going on in the hostel. So we had to bang outside all the time, which is awesome, because in the ocean, sex is pretty cool. Not gonna lie, I enjoyed it. Like, you have to like, as the man, you have to time a jump because the waves are coming, so you're banging. Plus, you gotta jump so that her head doesn't get submerged. You know what I mean? So it's like a big. It was a very good. So we banged in the ocean. We banged underneath the lifeguard tower, and then the cops came and said beach is closed. We're both naked still. I didn't give a shit. I don't care if the beach is closed. Who cares? Arrest me, bitch. Anywho, we banged there and in the ocean a bunch of times, and then we banged in these like little boxes they have in South Beach, and then we slept in there. And I have a picture I should show you. So we just banged, and we woke up in the morning, and then some old lady came by and said, "Can I take a picture of you two cute people?" And we were like, "Sure." And so they took a picture, and I'll show that to you, because nobody believes in anything I say ever. For some reason, because the anxiety is so bad. Anywho, what was I trying to say? So yeah, so I just got back from, I just dumped that girl because she turned into a total narcissist, crazy woman out of nowhere. So I dumped her, but she had bought me, because I was a homeless bum, she had bought us a hotel room essentially, but it was still in like a weird different type of hostel. Like, we had our own room, but whatever. I dumped her because she was crazy, and then I walked 2.5 hours back to South Beach from North Miami. Big deal. I just walked from New York to Miami, and walking is not a big deal, and I actually felt like I needed some exercise at that point, so big deal. I walked a little bit. So I get all the way to South Beach after walking with my 70 pounds of crap on my back, and I left at like 4 in the morning or something. I don't know. I got there early, but I got to this Dulce restaurant. It's called Dulce, Dolce. And I was across the street from this place, and I had a heat stroke moment, big time. I fell into a bush carrying my big pack of crap, and then I passed out a little bit, I think, and then I started puking, and I'm like, holy crap, I'm dying. You know? So I need water. It's obvious, right? So I'm yelling, agua por favor, because I learned a little bit of Spanish being in Miami. Agua por favor, I need water, anybody, please give me water. And I'm on the other side of this restaurant, other side of the street, across from this restaurant. And everybody looked at me like I was psycho, and they were afraid. And I was sitting there dying, and I didn't care if they were afraid of me. I just wanted water. So after a while of begging and everybody ignored me, I just said, fine, I'll fucking do it myself. So I picked up all my shit. I walked across the street in my big ass bag. I just picked it up with my left hand, and I went, my broken hand, I just picked it up, walked across the street, and I said, please, I'm having a heat stroke moment. Can I get some fucking water? I'm sorry I swore. I don't care if I cursed. I mean, cursing is, that's what America does. Everybody curses. I don't want to hear that shit. And yeah, Yeah, I'm running for president and I'm drinking a beer and I'm smoking a cigarette. Who cares? I'm an American and that's my fucking right. And it's yours too. Wake up, people. Society sucks. John F. Kennedy smoked cigarettes too, I think. And he went and banged a bunch of bitches while he's married. I'm single, so maybe I'm better than Kennedy. I don't know. But regardless, I walked across there and I swore and I said, "Can I have some fucking water, please?" And they all looked at me like I was retarded. And I'm like, "I'm dying over here. Can you just get me a water?" And then the fucking Suge Knight manager guy just stared at me like he was a tough guy. I can't wait to torch him in court when I get some money. I just can't wait. So nobody did anything. Everybody just stared at me like I was a psycho. As I just said, the words I said was, "I'm having a heat stroke moment. Can I have some fucking water, please?" And everybody looked at me like, and I'm sorry, but that doesn't make me the asshole. That makes them the asshole, right? So anyway, I stole an orange juice from a child. There's a table. Okay, so I'm on the sidewalk, public area, and there's a restaurant, hotel right there in front of me. There's a line of bushes right in front. And I was dying of thirst, so I stole an orange juice. I just grabbed the orange juice from this child, and he had his family there, and I just slammed it, put it back down, and then I left. And then I went to Walgreens and begged for a water, because I've been begging for a year straight. Who cares? You know, food, water, weed, everything was provided for me by God. Whatever I wanted, I just asked for it honestly, and I got it. Okay? And that's how the world should work. Especially when I'm trying to change the world by fixing all these problems everybody gets sad about. Anywho, the tough guy, Suge Knight manager guy, called the police. Oh, hold on. So after I got my water, I stole the orange juice, and then I went and got the water, I went back there to throw a fit. Because that's how I roll. I throw good fits. Okay? So I threw a fit. I went there and I pulled out, because I know why they didn't help me. It's because I was being a psycho. But I was also dying at that moment. Like, for real. Heat stroke is a bad thing. And I just passed out puking. And instead of compartmentalizing that I was dying, they got mad because I said the word fucking. So that means they're retarded, or a retard, like Zach Galifianakis would say. A mentally deficient person who can't understand that somebody dying is more important than your feelings. You understand? A retard. And that's a definition. So go ahead and get all fucking Democratic or Republican and bitch at me about saying a definitional word. Because our society is so pussy. It's unbelievable. Like Kennedy got shot in the head and then everybody became pussies. Big time. Giant pussies. Giant. I'm not a pussy. Hoorah. Anywho, so I went over there and I know that they're treating me that way because I'm a psycho and they probably think I'm homeless. So I pulled out my laptop and I said, "Guys, I need a water. Anybody want to trade for a laptop for a water?" And I know water's free usually because I'm from Wisconsin. And if you ask for water, they give it to you. In South Beach, if you ask for water and you're homeless, they say no. They say no. Anywho, so the laptop didn't give me a water, so I pulled out my tablet. I said, "What about a tablet? Anybody? Water for a tablet?" Nobody. So I put both these things in this. Okay, so it's a sidewalk, and then right on the other side of the sidewalk is a line of bushes. Dulce restaurant, you could probably street view it. You'll see the restaurant and the bushes. So I tossed the laptop into the bushes, then I tossed the tablet into the bushes, and then I think I talked about my Padfolio and then my Gregory backpack. And I tried to trade all these things for one water, and everybody just looked at me like, huh? And I was pissed. And it's okay to be pissed in America, people. You can get angry. I'm not violent, ever. Never violent. But it's okay to be pissed. It's okay to swear, because everybody does it, right? So can we just wake up a little bit as a country? Anywho, so after that, I'm like, I said, I guess I have nothing of value to trade for a water. And then I lied and said I was a Marine or something. And I said, maybe I should have fought for a different fucking country. And I walked out. And then I went back because I wasn't done throwing my fit. I went back and I went across the street back to where I passed out and was puking. And there's this black guy there. And I said, hey, dude, can I have enough money for a water? And he gave me $5, which is plenty of money for a water, right? So I walk into the bar. The first time I entered the facility, and I put the $5 on my head. I don't know. Wait. So I walk into this place like this. This is a $1 bill, but I walked in with $5, and I went up to the Suge Knight manager guy like this. I said, "Excuse me, sir. How much for a water?" And then this cocky motherfucker says, "For you, sir, it's free." And so he gave me the water. And my mind is churning, like wondering why the fuck now the water's free, because I walked in and asked for it with money on my forehead. But when I'm dying, begging for it, you just looked at me like Suge Knight, like you're cool, right? And then I knew why he did it, because I left after throwing 2 fits, right? So I threw the fit, threw my shit in the bushes in front of me, grabbed my shit and left. Came back, hustled for $5, walked back in, got the water. So I got the water and I drink a little bit of it because I already had water. I didn't really need it anymore. And then I yelled out, "Oorah! I got a free water in South Beach, motherfuckers!" And I threw the water into the street. And then someone gave me a round of applause, which was cool. But then I realized after I left why the cocky Suge Knight manager dude was so cocky, because he had already called the cops and lied to them. Here we go, ready? He had told the cops that I threw things at people. He totally lied, and I got arrested. Big deal. So I went to jail. I mean, I was so cooperative with the police, they don't even know what to do. Like, I had already had all my shit out of my pockets. I'm like, hey guys, I respect the shit out of you. I love you for your service to this country. And they arrested me anyway because of some fucking Suge Knight guy and his words. My words didn't matter. The truth didn't matter. It was the business who wins. And that's bullshit. But anyway, so I go to jail and then I'm like, I cannot believe how poorly the prisoners are treated in Miami. I'm talking serious prison reform needed. 80 people. Okay, so I go in there because I threw a fit on public property and I swore a little bit. So that's how I got arrested. So I go there and there's 80 chairs, essentially 80 prisoners, and you have to sit in that chair for 2 days until you get into a different jail, or until you get to real jail. It's like there's too many people that are criminals. So they make you sit in a chair for 2 days straight, and you eat bologna sandwiches 3 times a day. And if you get out of your chair, you get yelled at by these bullshit narcissist correctional officers who think they're so much smarter than all these people. And all these black kids and Hispanic people are sitting there suffering. Do you understand? Imagine sitting in an upright chair, like not even like an office chair that reclines, but a chair where it has a back and you have to sit there for 2 days, people. And you can't lay down. You can't go to sleep. So how do you sleep in that situation? And one of those black kids taught me how. And it's like this. So in order to sleep in TGK in Miami, you have to go like this. And then hope it happens while everyone's yelling. There's a bunch of fucking psychos yelling in there. 80 people. That's called cruel and unusual punishment, America. 4th Amendment. And I was pissed off. And I talk back to all these correctional officers who are correcting people all the time, but not, it's correctional and rehabilitation is their job. There's no rehabilitation happening in Miami. In fact, I doubt there's any rehabilitation happening in any prison in America or any jail. Because rehabilitation is teaching bad people how to be good. And there's no teaching there at all. So anyway, so the first time I was there, and I went there 4 times through the same process. With the fucking baloney and sitting in the chair. Because I'm a badass and everybody else can't handle it. And I don't care. I don't give a fuck. So I'm sitting on the nurse's chair. So there's 80 chairs in the middle. And then just outside of that, there's like 4 chairs for the nurse. I'm sitting there waiting, and this black guy is just yelling. He is obviously mentally ill. He needs help, right? He's screaming, "Oh my God, the COVID, my nigga, I'm the COVID. You guys are making me have COVID, nigga, my nigga." He just kept saying like stupid shit for like an hour straight, just yelling like a psychopath. And finally, I'm like, and you know what really fucking pissed me off was that the correctional guy who's supposed to be in charge of this whole situation says everybody else has to be quiet except for him because he needs help. And I thought about that, and I'm like, dumb fuck, you're the one that's supposed to help him, idiot. And you're not doing it. Right? So then I took over as a prisoner in TGK. First time in jail ever in Miami with 80 black and Hispanic people, and I fucking screamed at this black guy. And this is, what did I say to him exactly? I said, "Motherfucker," I said it's very loud, so every person in the jail could hear me. What did I say exactly? Oh my God. So I said, "Dude, I know you're smart, I can tell. But there's 80 people in here trying to sleep. And tell me what the fuck anything you're saying is more important than these young men getting sleep." And then he smiled at me and he said, what did he say? He shut up. He stopped yelling. And he had been yelling for half an hour straight. And the correctional officers had given up. They said, "Everybody else, just be quiet because this guy's fucked up." And I'm like, no, there's a solution, idiot. Idiot correction officer. There's a solution to every problem. You just haven't thought of it yet, and you don't give a shit. And you're cowardly and a fucking lazy bitch. At least that's what I was thinking, right? So I took care of it. And then I got a round of applause from all the inmates and the correctional officers. It was pretty cool. It was a good moment for me. But it was so simple. He had quit, and this man needed help. And what he needed was a fucking mentor to tell him to shut the fuck up. And that's what I did. So, anywho, so I got released a few days after that, I think. And then the second time I went to jail was even a crazier story. So I go into McDonald's. I'd just been hustling all day long. I mean, you guys don't understand. I'm working on a company that's going to bring drinking water to Africa. I'm also running for president in the United States. And I don't care if you think I'm going to do it or not. I already know it's happening. I don't care what you think. But you should get on board. Because I will bring all the happiness that everybody wants. You guys all bitch about everything. Bitch, 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 bitch. I'm tired of it. I've been listening to your bitching for 20 years. Do you have any solutions, or do you just like to bitch? Because I have solutions. Anyway, so the second time I went to jail was, I would go to McDonald's. I mean, I've been hustling all day long, and I go to McDonald's, and the precursor to this was that there was a different homeless man that I met. He was a big guy. he was dying of heat stroke on the side of the road, which was about a block away from McDonald's. And he said, water. He was laying on the ground. He said, water, dude. And I'm like, oh, I got you, homie. Don't worry. I'll get you some water. So I run to McDonald's, which was about a block away. No big deal. And I said, can I have the biggest water ever? There's a homeless guy over there who's dying. And they gave me the little sippy cup. I'm telling you that my children, there's their birth dates, had more water in their sippy cup than McDonald's was willing to give me after I said a guy is dying over there. So I ran over there, gave it to him, and then I ran back to McDonald's. I asked for another one, and they gave me another one, another little tiny sippy cup. So I ran back over there. I'm like, are you good, dude, or you need more? He's like, I'm good. I'm like, okay, awesome. And while I was doing that, I might have swore, cursed a little bit, because the manager at McDonald's gave me a sippy cup when I asked for the biggest fucking water possible because the guy is dying. So McDonald's can suck my dick. And so can most of these giant companies that are raping us. So I go in there after that scenario, and I had worked my ass off all day, and I had $2 to my name. And I've been homeless for a year, and I walked from New York through Baltimore, D.C., all these homeless places. I get to South Beach, and everybody treats me like shit all of a sudden. So I'm not happy from that. And I bought a cheeseburger, a double cheeseburger. And the way I like my cheeseburgers are no cheese. Okay, so cheeseburger with no cheese and only ketchup and pickles. I'm sorry, that's what I like. I don't like any of the onions or the mustard. I just don't. It's my right as an American. Who gives a fuck? Anywho, so I ordered that, and the lady was a total retard. Like, she didn't even know English, really. And somehow that's my fault. I said 3 times, double cheeseburger, no cheese, only ketchup and pickles. And then I'm pretty sure the receipt came out correct too. But the fucking burger came out after I've been walking and thinking and working my ass off all day as a homeless dude trying to figure out how to make it. The thing came with onions on it. And I said, no. So I brought it up to the counter and I said, manager lady, and she was so puffed up and bitchy. I said, this is not what I ordered. Can I get this without onions? And then she did the Shaniqua thing. And then I went psycho. And I yelled. And I said, motherfucker, I worked my ass off as a homeless person and I ordered a cheeseburger the way I want it, and your job is to give it to me correctly, and you fucked up. So don't give me this. And I just yelled and yelled and yelled, made a big scene. And then I chucked that cheeseburger like Randy Johnson right at the counter, and it stuck into the counter and then fell down. I didn't throw it at anybody. I don't want to hurt anyone. And even if I did throw a cheeseburger at somebody, the odds of me hurting them are probably pretty small, right? Anyway, that bitch at the McDonald's who couldn't make my order correct called the police and said I was chucking my burger at people. So I got arrested again. Jail time too. Hoorah! Bring it. TGK, I own your shit. Okay, so I don't think I got thrown in the loony cell that time. But the third time was weird. This time I don't understand what happened. I don't get it. So I literally think I have a solution to cancer, like fixing cancer. I mean, it's a big one. Nobody's ever done it. Okay, so I walk up to these 2 Hispanic people, and I borrow their phone to do Google Translate. They don't know how to speak English. So I said, hey, dude, I typed it on his phone. So it spit it out in Spanish to him. I said, I think I have found a solution to cancer. I'd like to borrow a phone for a couple of hours Can I give this phone back to you in 2 hours? And he said, sí, which means yes. He gave me the phone, and then him and his buddy left. And then I went nuts on his phone trying to figure out how to solve cancer because I've got the solution down. Go ahead and make a comment and ask me what it is. I'd love to tell you, but I don't know if anybody will because nobody gives a shit. That's what's so funny. So anyway, about a half hour later, the police come up. I'm like, what's going on, guys? How you doing? Now I'm very cooperative. Like, I'm probably the most cooperative guy that's ever been arrested. Big time. Like, but when the cops roll up, I just pull all the shit out of my pockets and I throw my clothes off and I lay down like a bitch. I'm like, you guys are in charge. What do you want me to do? Okay, that's how I roll. And that motherfucker said that I beat his ass and stole his phone. Strong arm robbery, a felony. This Hispanic guy lied to the police so I get arrested with a fucking felony for trying to solve cancer. Fuck this country. You guys can all suck my dick. Anyway, so then I spent like 3 weeks in jail. And then it ended up being a no action, they said. So I was released one day out of nowhere because my family wasn't capable of paying my bond. And they said no action. I'm like, what do you mean no action? Fuck that. Either I committed a felony or not. Like, you're just gonna let me go and say no action? It's because that motherfucker knows I didn't punch him in the face and steal his phone. He knows he gave it to me. I mean, unbelievable, right? That's the third time I went to jail. That time took forever. So now I have a felony and 2 misdemeanors. Disorderly conduct times 2. And a felony strong arm robbery. And I've never been in jail before, and I totally just owned it. Whatever. What was this 4th time? Oh, the 4th time was funny too. So I go to this different bar, and I have my debit card written down. Because I've been robbed. I mean, some guy sucker punched me, stole my phone and wallet. Sucker punched me. I didn't even see it coming. Like, all of a sudden, boom, in the jaw, down I go, and my shit's all gone when I wake up. Big deal. Hoorah, I'm a Marine. Fuck you guys. I'm not a Marine yet, but I will be, promise you. So anyway, so the 4th time was what? Oh, so I didn't have a physical card. And I worked at a golf course for 14 years, and I could punch in credit card numbers all day long and still accomplish a transaction with a number written down, right? Without the physical card. So I know it's possible. So I go into this bar and I order a beer because I'm a badass. I didn't give a fuck. If they can't accept the payment that I have, that's their problem, not mine. Their payment POS system is flawed if they can't accept a written down credit card. Do you understand? So I order a beer and I drink it. I'm like halfway through it, and then the bitch asked me for the payment right away because it's not Wisconsin. It's South Beach, and they want their money, and they're selfish motherfuckers everywhere around there. So I said, here it is. And I gave them the number written down in my notebook. And they said, we can't accept this payment. And I said, that's the only form of payment I have. And they said, well, then you are refusing to pay, and we'll call the police. And I said, call those motherfuckers. Do it. And then I laid down. Somehow I had a rose. So I gave a rose to a really pretty girl walking by. And then I laid in the street like this, waiting for the cops for like 20 minutes. I just laid there. I could have totally escaped easily and said, fuck you guys. And then she came over and said, well, I should beat your fucking ass. I'm like, what are you talking about, woman? Your company cannot accept my payment and you're going to beat my ass? Like, go ahead. Go ahead and try to fight me over this. Like, what the fuck? She threatened me. And then I got a charge for defrauding an innkeeper, which was also dropped later. So, like, what the fuck? I can't wait to get some money so I can go after them for all the time I had to spend in jail because they're retarded and assholes and discriminatory. I mean, I don't know if anybody knows what that word means either. Discriminatory. I was discriminated against because I was homeless. And I was homeless on purpose because I was trying to change the world. So I spent a month and a half or a month in jail in Miami as my first time. And I got rolled, which means when you're in one of those units, okay, so you go to TGK, which is, so you get booked, then you go to TGK, and you go into the basement because it's an overflow room, because they don't have room in the jail for everyone. There's too many fucking criminals. So you sit in this room and you can't sleep and you can't move and everybody yells at you and all the correctional officers are totally like fucking dicks and don't make any sense. They tell you instructions that don't make sense at all to anyone that's intelligent. But they're so narcissistic and cool compared to you that whatever. And one of those times, 3 of those cool guy guards, okay, so they're really big, tough guys too. They got big muscles, right? I said, guys, listen up. Real loud, I said this. I said, we have a right to fall asleep, so I'm going to lay down and I'm going to take the beating so that the rest of you can sleep. And I laid down on the ground, on the fucking concrete, and then they hauled me into the loony bin and called me a crazy person because I know what the Fourth Amendment means. So they threw me in there, into the cell where all the crazy yellers go. So when you're in this jail, there's like 6 cells, okay? So there's 80 people sitting there, and there's the 6 cells that are like locked with doors. And that's where all the really loud psychos go. So they threw me in there because I laid down. I'm like, bring it, bitch, whatever. I don't give a fuck. You guys aren't cooler than me. You're not smarter than me, and you're not as patriotic as I am. So anywho, so it was either time 2 or time 3 where I just got so sick of the way they were treating these young men, these black kids and these Hispanic people, that I just started fucking yelling at them, all of them. I'm like, stop it. That you suck at communicating and stop making this young black man feel like a dipshit because you're an idiot. And I kept saying stuff like that over and over and over and over. And then they handcuffed me to the chair because I was talking too much. So that was their big thing. Oh, I'm gonna put handcuffs on one arm, and then I just kept talking shit more, and they put handcuffs on the other arm, and then I'm like, well, now I have to pee. I have to piss. Will you let me piss? And they said no. Well then, so I shimmied with both my hands handcuffed to the chair. I shimmied and took a piss right on the floor. Because I had asked to pee, and the correctional dumbfucks said no. So I did it on the floor. And then those 3 badasses with the big arms and the tough minds, all 3 of those fuckers took me into the shower where there's no cameras. And all 3 of them, so it was me in the shower with these 3 dumbfucks, and then someone hit me in the jaw. I didn't even see it coming. Right in the jaw, and then I went down. I went down hard. I don't even know what happened. I got hit so hard, I didn't know where it was coming from 3 tough guys in the shower and they're correctional officers. Boom. Down I go, and then I just went like this. Okay, you bad fuckers, you win. So I know what happened there. Because actually one of those motherfuckers said, you're gonna die. That's what he said to me. You're gonna die. And I said, prove it, bitch. So they brought me in there, knocked me out, and then I just sat there like, okay, whatever. You guys win. You guys are tough. Right? And then they hauled me out of the shower, and then I pretended to pass out after getting knocked in the jaw. And then they locked me back up with the handcuffs back on me. I can't wait to fry them in court. So prison reform needs to happen, people, because there's no rehabilitation. And I don't know if anybody understands this simple concept, is that when you have criminals, they don't have good parenting. Okay? So we need to reinforce lessons and mentoring and parenting where it doesn't exist. That's called rehabilitation. It's a simple concept. And there's no rehabilitation coming on, but those motherfucking tough correctional officers sure did do some correcting. Okay? And I can't wait to get them in a courtroom. So a month and a half in jail for no reason whatsoever. Because of what? I did my First Amendment rights, and I said my mind, so I get arrested because some asshole can just lie to the cops and they'll just arrest you for no reason. And then I come back to Wisconsin. Okay? And my ex-wife is a fucking narcissist psycho. And she put a restraining order on me because I texted her too much. Her feelings are hurt. She stole my children from me because I got robbed and broken in LA. She stole them. And she has her feelings hurt because I send texts. I'm not a violent man. I'm not gonna hurt her. I used to love her. I mean, it was a misguided love. I should have loved someone else. I should have never married her. But I used to love her. And she made me miserable for years. Miserable. Total narcissistic social anxiety, and that's just not me. I don't have anxiety anymore. So I'm not going to live with a woman who has anxiety. I'm not going to go home to my home and feel uncomfortable all day long. That's not the American dream, and that's not my life. Understood? It shouldn't be your life either. So if your woman or your man is running you like that, then tell them to fuck off. You deserve better. So anyway, so I got robbed on vacation. Her whole point was that I went on vacation. Like, it's a big deal. Like, everybody goes on vacation, and I finally had enough money to do it. So I did it. And I cleared it with my boss at Fairway Independent Mortgage. And I cleared it with my ex-wife so she could watch the kids for a week. And I went to Hawaii, and they kicked me out because I didn't have a COVID test, even though I was vaccinated. I mean, a vaccination means you can't fucking get it anymore. So why would I get a test? And why would American Airlines let me fly all the way across the ocean without the test needed to enter that country or that state? Excuse me. It's not my fault. I was a customer. I just wanted to party. I wanted to go to Hawaii, sit in a hotel, and write a book about mental health. Instead, I got kicked out, so I'm like, where do I go now? So I went to LA because I still had a whole week. And I met a girl, and then she drugged me 2 days later, and then I woke up in the hospital with a broken arm and nothing, and I was homeless for a while. Big deal. Hoorah. What I don't understand is why I'm the asshole all the time. I'm not an asshole unless you deserve it. Because if you don't deserve it, I'm the sweetest motherfucker you've ever met. I will help anyone. I'll give the shirt off my back just like the black people did in Baltimore. They gave me their shirt off their back. I will do anything for anyone. Unless you're an asshole, then I fucking tell you. And you won't like it when I'm angry. So, I went to jail 4 times. I'm still a warrior of God, and I don't care. And then I came back here. I went to jail in Wisconsin because I saw that my ex-wife, the bitch, is texting my mom, going behind my back, getting information and using it against me to continue her case. So my feelings were hurt, and I got angry, and I called her a cunt. And I never call anybody that word. Ever. But I texted her from my mom's phone. And I did it as if my mom was saying it. And I didn't say I or me, I said he. And I know I use the right pronouns, right? And then I go to the easy pawn shop to sell all my things I love the most, my golf clubs. I was trying to sell my golf clubs so I could get money for food and start this business. And my aunt was there and I got arrested because I sent a text. And I go to Brown County Jail and I'm like, holy shit, they give you a tablet in there. I read a Davy Crockett novel. Davy Crockett killed 80 bears in like 2 months. 80 of them. And he was in Congress. Holy shit. Like those books are old as fuck. Like all of them are from like 1910 or earlier, but you can still learn a lot from people that lived before us, people. So if you want to send me to Brown County Jail, I'd rather be there than homeless. I get meals and I get a tablet. And if I have like $14 on my account in jail in Brown County, I can get earphones and listen to music and play games on my tablet. And it's not like Miami. It's you can sleep and have a tablet and read. Like you go to Miami and you are sitting there for 24 hours with just your thoughts. Okay. Oh, I should explain how it works after you get out of the shithole overflow room. So then you could possibly go to what's it called? Metro West. Metro West is one jail, which I got rolled a bunch of times, and people threatened my life, and a bunch of people tried to fight me, and that's fine, whatever. So Metro West is a jail or prison where 80 people are sitting there, and they all got bunks. So it's 2 bunks times 40, so 40 of those, like bottoms and lowers, and you're with 80 other people. And then there's the bathroom and showers, and that's where all the fighting happens, because there was no cameras in there, because, no one could see your wiener, I guess. So why don't you just put cameras in everywhere? What the fuck? So that's Metro West, and the other one, what's the other one called? The other one is, so it's a step above the overflow room, and then it's basically like Brown County Jail, where you just sit in your cell with a different dude, and you have you get 4 hours though to come out of the cell. That was great. So I had 4 hours a day to shoot hoops. I learned from this Jesus freak Ivan guy how to shoot basketball for once. Like my coach in high school did not teach me how to follow through, but Ivan did. And then I beat all those black people and Hispanic people in basketball, because Ivan, the Jesus freak weirdo guy, taught me how to shoot the ball. All I had to do is stretch my hand out and then use my index finger to point when I shoot, and I just drain everything. So I beat all these 23-year-olds in basketball, and I had 4 hours a day to do it, and I always won. And I'm like the white mamba. I don't care. You want to play me in basketball? Bring it. I'll just train threes on you like there's no tomorrow. Because I learned how to do it in jail. My beer's gone now. All right, so point is, the big point is that corporations are running us big time. Think about it. You can't go into the hospital without feeling like you're in jail. You have to follow all their fucking rules. You can't go to Apple or Target or anywhere without following their rules. And we're the customers. We're the ones that pay everybody's salary inside that business, and we have to cater to them, and it's backwards. Okay? So I spent a month in jail in Miami for no good goddamn reason. And then I spent a little bit, like 4 days, a weekend in jail in Brown County for a good reason. I sent a text against a restraining order, big deal. And if you want to send me to jail again, go ahead. Because Brown County's nothing, okay? And I don't have to worry about food or shelter for a while. And that's part of what I need, is food and shelter. So whatever, bring it. There's so many people that are so tough and they just haven't earned it like I have. So I guess the big takeaway from this video, holy shit, it's 5 minutes long, is that we need to stand up for ourselves, because the first words in the Constitution are "we the people," right? It's not "we the corporations," it's "we the people." And I want to be a president of the people. And I think that's what everybody wants. Why wouldn't you want a president who's been homeless, who's been in jail, who's been in mental institutions, and who has analyzed all those entities and smartly and intelligently thought of solutions to fix them all of them? Okay, so here's a good solution to all of our problems. And I thought about this 2 days ago, is that we need to make 3 new branches to the military. So the military teaches discipline, respect for others, and you just do what you say, right? So we add a branch for health and human services, which is hospitals and mental health, okay? That's a branch of the military now, so it's funded. And we add a branch for education. So every teacher in America is now part of the military and funded. And then we add one more branch to the military. It's called Protect and Serve. And that's where all the policemen are now military too. National military, okay? So everybody that's in charge of our safety, our health, mentally and physically, and our education is fully funded by the fucking government, instead of all this pussy shit where teachers don't get paid enough, where police don't get paid enough, and where hospitals take advantage of us and insurance companies fuck us in the ass. I think it's time for America to wake up. Why am I the only one that sees this shit? Why? That's all.